Pro tip 22. Love must be assumed but never proved. Love must be assumed but never proved. Have you ever known someone, have you ever been in a relationship with someone that you felt like you constantly had to prove your love or loyalty to? That you constantly were on the, maybe walking on eggshells, or maybe a bit of time went by before there was a break in communication, you didn't see this person, and then the relationship grew really cold and maybe even hostile because you didn't prove your love to them. Have you ever known someone that way? Or maybe you have been that way, or kind of fall prey to that tendency to always need someone to prove themselves to you or prove their love and loyalty to you. If that's you, or if you know someone like that, it can be really hard to be in relationship with folks like that. And the reason for this is because the person on the giving end of that eventually becomes weary or grows really tired of always feeling like they can never do enough to show their love or loyalty to the other person. And on the other side of that, the person who always feels like somebody else has to prove their love and loyalty to them, they always find a reason to suspect the other person isn't sincere. They don't really love them. They always find a reason to sabotage the relationship in the end. And the reason for this, and the reason that there are certain people that need love proved to them, is because they have unhealed trauma. And everything is getting processed through this grid of unhealed trauma. And everything feels like rejection. Everything feels like not enough. But then there are another group of people that's out there, right? And this other group of people are folks who they just automatically almost just assume that the other person loves and cares for them. And if the other person treats them bad or doesn't quite do what they would like, they tend to understand that it's not personal, that this other person has stuff going on in their life, but they assume that they're loved. See, people who feel like they need their love proved to them, they need somebody else to prove their love to them, they're looking for love in the future because they don't feel love now. But people who assume love, they just assume that you love and care about them, they're living in the state of love. And for those folks, people who assume love and relationships are just really easy because the other person doesn't have to perform for them. They just always feel that the other person loves and cares for them, and they in turn respond in a similar way. And relationships where love is assumed, there's a lot of flow, there's ease, there's trust, there's a sense of allowing the other person to be exactly who they are without making them or manipulating them into doing or making you feel a certain way because you don't feel loved. So love must be assumed. It can never be proved. What kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person that people need to prove themselves to? Are you the kind of person where you really want to see who's true to you, who's loyal to you, who stands by you? Or do you just assume that everyone loves you as best as they can love you? May we learn how to be the latter today.